Bruce Lee owed someone money when he died. Not a lot, $300. But the person never asked for it back, never mentioned it, just quietly carried the debt for 40 years. When they finally came forward in 2013, what they revealed about why Bruce borrowed the money changed everything people thought they knew about his last days. Hong Kong, July 10, 1973, 10 days before Bruce Lee's death, Bruce collapses for the first time, in the middle of a dubbing session for Enter the Dragon. Just drops, unconscious, terrifying everyone in the room. He's rushed to the hospital, revives, tests are run, doctors are confused, everything looks normal, no clear explanation for why a healthy 32-year-old man would just collapse. They run more tests, still nothing definitive. Bruce is told to rest, to reduce stress, to take it easy. He agrees, says yes to everything the doctors recommend, leaves the hospital seemingly understanding the seriousness of what just happened. But Bruce has a problem, a financial problem that nobody knows about. Not Linda, not Raymond, not his business manager, just Bruce. And the problem is becoming urgent. The problem isn't that Bruce is broke, he's not. Enter the Dragon will make him wealthy. The film is about to release. Contracts are signed. Money is coming. Significant money. Life-changing money. But it's not here yet. It's coming. Soon. But not yet. And Bruce has a debt that can't wait. A debt that needs to be paid now, before the money arrives, before everything becomes public, before he loses the chance to make it right. The debt is to someone in Los Angeles. Someone Bruce knew in the early days. Before the fame, before Hong Kong, when Bruce was still struggling, still building, still trying to convince the world that he was worth paying attention to. In 1969, Bruce needed money. The Green Hornet had been canceled. Hollywood wasn't interested. Bruce was teaching martial arts, but that income was unpredictable. Some months were good, some months were terrible. He had a wife, a young son, rent, bills, the normal financial pressures of life, and he had a medical bill. Linda needed surgery, nothing life-threatening, but necessary, and expensive. The kind of expensive that wipes out savings, that requires borrowing, that creates the kind of stress that makes everything else harder. Bruce went to a friend, not a close friend, someone he knew from the martial arts community, a man named Chen. Older, established, owned a restaurant in Chinatown, had money, not wealthy, but comfortable, the kind of person who could lend $300 without it destroying his life. Bruce asked, explained the situation, Linda's surgery, the medical bills, the temporary financial stress, the money from teaching that would come but hadn't come yet. Thomas listened, didn't judge, didn't make Bruce feel small for asking, just said yes. $300, Thomas said. Pay me back when you can. No rush, no interest, just between friends. Bruce took the money, paid the medical bills, told himself he'd pay Thomas back within a month. Maybe 2, as soon as the next wave of students came, as soon as the income stabilized. But life happened. Bruce moved to Hong Kong. The big boss. Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon. The explosion of fame. The complete transformation from struggling teacher to international star. Everything moving too fast. Everything happening at once. The $300 to Chen got lost in the chaos. Not forgotten exactly, more like buried under everything else. Bruce knew he owed it, intended to pay it back, but never quite got around to it. Always something more urgent, always something more pressing. Until July 10, 1973, when Bruce collapsed, when the doctors told him to rest, when Bruce went home and sat with the reality that something was seriously wrong, that the body was failing in ways that tests couldn't measure yet. And Bruce remembered the debt, $300, from 1969, 4 years unpaid, Chen in Los Angeles, never asked for it back, never mentioned it, never made Bruce feel guilty, just quietly carried the debt like it didn't matter. But it mattered to Bruce. Suddenly it mattered more than anything, because if Bruce died, the debt would die with him. Thomas would never get paid back, would lose that money forever, and Bruce couldn't leave that unpaid, couldn't die owing someone who helped him when he needed help. The problem was cash. Bruce had money, but it was tied up in contracts, in deals, in the complicated financial structures of international film production. He could access large amounts eventually, but not immediately. Not in the 10 days before he needed to send $300 to Los Angeles, before something happened that would make sending it impossible. Bruce went to someone he knew would have cash. Not Raymond, not a business associate, someone smaller, someone who dealt in cash daily, a man named Wang Shunlung, another Wing Chun practitioner, someone Bruce had known for years, someone who ran a small business and would have $300 in cash available. Bruce showed up at Wang's shop on July 12, 2 days after the collapse, 8 days before his death. "I need to borrow $300, Bruce said. "Cash, today." Wang was surprised. Bruce Lee needing to borrow $300? Bruce Lee, who was about to be the most famous martial artist in the world. It didn't make sense. "Is everything okay?" Wang asked. "Everything's fine. I just need cash immediately. I have money, just not accessible right now. I'll pay you back in 2 weeks with interest." Wang didn't ask more questions, went to his safe, counted out $300, American dollars, handed it to Bruce. "No interest," Wang said. "Just pay me back when you can." Bruce took the money, thanked Wang, left immediately. That same day, Bruce went to the post office, sent $300 to Thomas Chen in Los Angeles, with a note. "Thomas, I'm sorry this took 4 years. Thank you for helping me when I needed it. The money meant more than you know, Bruce." The envelope was sent July 12, 1973. 8 days later, Thomas Chen received the envelope on July 24, 1973, 4 days after Bruce died, opened it, found $300 in the note, sat down, didn't move for a long time. Bruce had died owing Wang Shunlung $300, but not owing Thomas Chen. Bruce made sure of that. In the 8 days between borrowing from Wang and dying, Bruce's priority was paying back a 4-year-old debt to someone who never asked for it. Wang Shunling never asked for the money back, quietly absorbed the loss, figured Bruce had bigger things to worry about, figured $300 didn't matter in the context of everything else Bruce was dealing with. Thomas Chen kept the note, kept the $300 separate, never spent it, carried it for 40 years as a reminder of something, not sure what exactly, just something about character, about what matters, about what a person chooses to prioritize in their last days. In 2013, both Wang and Thomas were old men. Wang was 87, Thomas was 92, both still alive, both carrying pieces of a story nobody knew. Wang mentioned it to someone casually. "Bruce Lee died owing me $300, not because he was irresponsible, because he ran out of time." The person Wang told was a journalist. Asked Wang if she could investigate. Wang said yes, but didn't think there was much to find. The journalist tracked down Thomas Chen in Los Angeles, asked if he knew Bruce Lee. Thomas said yes, asked if Bruce ever borrowed money. Thomas paused, then said he borrowed $300 and paid it back in 1970, 4 days after he died. The journalist didn't understand. After he died? The envelope was postmarked July 12. He died July 20. I received it July 24. He sent it 8 days before he died. He just collapsed. Doctors told him to rest, and he used his energy to make sure I got paid back. Thomas showed the journalist the note, the $300 still in the original envelope, preserved for 40 years. The journalist connected the pieces. Bruce borrowed $300 from Wang on July 12, sent $300 to Thomas the same day, died 8 days later owing Wang but not Thomas. "Why do you think he prioritized paying you back?" the journalist asked Thomas. Thomas thought for a long time. "Because I helped him first, in 1969 when he had nothing, when he was nobody, when helping him was a risk. He remembered that, and he made sure that debt was paid even when he knew time was running out. That tells you who he was." The journalist asked Wang how he felt about never getting paid back. Wang smiled. "I'm honored. Bruce borrowed money from me to pay back someone who helped him when he really needed it. That's not irresponsibility, that's character. I'd rather lose $300 to Bruce Lee's character than get paid back and miss the lesson." What lesson? That who you were matters more than who you became. That the people who helped you before you were famous deserve more loyalty than the people who help you after. That Bruce Lee remembered where he came from, even when he was dying. The story came out in 2014, 41 years after Bruce died. Shannon read it, called both Wang and Thomas, offered to pay them both back with interest. They both refused. "Your father paid his debt," Thomas said. He sent the money. That he died before I could thank him doesn't change that he paid it. Your father taught me something worth more than $300, Wong said. He showed me what matters in the last days of life. Paying old debts, honoring old kindnesses. That lesson is worth the money. Shannon asked if she could meet them both. They agreed. She traveled to meet Thomas in Los Angeles, then to Hong Kong to meet Wong. Thomas gave her the envelope, the note, the $300. This belongs to your family. Your father sent it. It should come home. Wong gave her something too. The ledger from his shop. July 12, 19. Bruce Lee, $300 loan. Never crossed out, never marked paid, just sitting there for 41 years. A reminder of the debt that taught Wong more than getting paid back ever could. Shannon keeps both items, the envelope from Thomas, the ledger entry from Wong, both in the archive with all the other pieces of her father that the world doesn't know about, the pieces that show who he was when nobody was watching, what he prioritized when time was running out. The debt, $300, borrowed in 19, partially paid back in 19, fully completed 41 years later when the story came out, and everyone understood what Bruce chose to do with his energy 8 days before he died. Not rest, not reduce stress, not take it easy, pay back the person who helped him when he was nobody. Make sure that debt was cleared, even if it meant dying owing someone else, even if it meant using energy he didn't have, even if it meant prioritizing the past over the future. That's who Bruce Lee was. In the last 8 days, when everything was falling apart, when the body was failing, when time was running out, he paid his debts. Starting with the oldest ones, starting with the people who helped him before the world cared, starting with Thomas Chen, who lent $300 in 1969 and never asked for it back. The debt that mattered more than resting, more than doctor's orders, more than preserving energy. The debt that shows who you really are, not when you're famous, when you're dying. Bruce Lee chose to pay it, 8 days before the end, making sure Thomas got the money, making sure the debt was cleared, making sure that whoever Bruce Lee became, he didn't forget who helped him be that person. $300. The debt that taught 2 old men more than getting paid back. The debt that showed the world who Bruce Lee really was. The debt that mattered more than living 8 more days. That's the debt. That's the story. That's Bruce Lee.